full scholarship from the fans, claims he didn't need anyone, but he has chosen to align with the men in the ring because he is a visionary. So, I mean, it was a decent promo, but it was kind of surprising nobody interrupted it. Not that it's a bad thing, just kind of an observation. But I thought it was a pretty good way to open up the show. Probably would have got a little better grade from Mike if somebody came out and there was fighting, but I'm going to give it the B+.
Alrighty.
We then went to the opening match of the evening. The Intercontinental title, where Rusev previously, I'm leading off, so we can kind of roll right into it. We saw Rusev with Penta backstage, where Rusev told Penta that he had already talked to Adam Pearce, and he was going to be facing the winner of their matchup. And then saw Dirty Dom coming around the back, and then he stopped and turned and went around.
Yep.
I think that was kind of funny. Mysterio came out there, which was kind of weird. I was kind of waiting for the Judgment Day to come out, but they actually never did. It was a fun match with just your standard spots. Seeing Dominic stand on his own 2 feet without Judgment Day was nice. Nice change of pace. Rusev showed up, but Penta took him out with a dive over the top rope. That gave Dirty Dominic, and he was dirty in it because he was dirty. He grabbed one of the belts and the timekeeper's hammer. When the Rec took the belt down, used the hammer behind his back, nailed Penta with a 619 with a low arm splash to get the win. I'm surprised a huge pop from the crowd. The crowd was very, very, very much so behind Dominic. It took the only downfalls. I mean, really, it took 29 minutes into the match till it finally got started. And then the show went to a break like a minute into the match. And then the match is going on, went to another break. And then the match is going on, went to another break. That's when I turned it off. And I said, fuck this. I'll wait till it's done so I can at least fast forward through the ads. The crowd booed when Penta went for the Three Amigos, and they cheered when Dominic reversed it. But I thought this was a really good match. I gave it a B+.
Okay, yeah, I definitely agree with the grade there. I enjoyed this match. I thought it was really good. Like you emphasized before, how Dominic kind of put the belt down, and then the timekeeper picked up the belt. Dominic grabbed the hammer, and I'm sitting there like, Berkeley, get the hell out of the way. Come on. Dominic's got to get in there. So, but, yeah, so he was, so that was actually pretty good. Yeah, that's Fred Ottman's son, the guy that rings the bell. His name is Berkeley. Okay. And, but yeah, I mean, Dominic is, we say it just a lot every time we do the show. He's improved by leaps and bounds. I mean, it's amazing. He's got 2 titles. And I really think he'll end up eventually losing the IC title, probably to Rusev. Don't know when that's going to be, but I think it's going to be Rusev that's going to take it from him. But yeah, I enjoyed this match. It was really good. I agree with you 100% on, getting rid of them stinking commercials, especially right in the middle of a match when it's going good. Excuse me. But I gave it as well.
Okay. We then went to the next matchup was the singles matchup between Kairi Sane and Rhea Ripley. Trib, you were up first.
Okay. Yeah, when we all saw Rhea come out, Io Sky was there with her, and Asuka is just, I think she's losing her mind, Asuka. I mean, before they would have never thought she would have never thought of putting her hands on Kairi Sane. But yeah, this was actually a decent match. I mean, it wasn't a match that was gonna knock my socks off or anything, because I kind of figure once you get into a match between Rhea and Kairi Sane, you kind of figure Rhea's going to win 90% of the time anyway, unless there's outside interference. But yeah, I enjoyed the match. I thought it was pretty good. Rhea got the win. But yeah, I mean, I think we're going to see something coming up down the road between Asuka and Kairi Sane. And will that mean that maybe Kairi will team up with Io again? We don't know. But that's something that WWE is going to have to plan down in the future. But yeah, I thought the match was okay. I gave it a B-.
Okay. Yeah, we saw in the beginning, before this match even happened, Asuka slapped Kairi after she showed her the big bruise that she got. Once into the ring, Kairi Sane's kind of locked up and hit a forearm to the back, but Rhea brushed it off like it was nothing. I know at one point Kairi Sane, she kind of got the upper hand for a moment, but once Ripley hit her with a knee, that turned things around. We then had Io Sky and Asuka ended up brawling, but Io Sky was taken out by both the combined efforts of Asuka and Kairi Sane. I mean, it was a good match, but it was, kind of taken away a little by the shenanigans ringside. The second half of the match was much better than the first, because both women brought a lot more physicality to their offense. I mean, Kairi Sane is, hold on, let me get the official here, so I'm not recording. She has 5'1", 115 pounds. And we're talking on our recap of the league work that it just seems to me like Rhea Ripley is getting herself in better shape or losing some of that muscle tone. And it was she kind of struggled to get Kairi up enough to really do a good riptide. So I don't know if she's losing some of her strength because she's trying to work on slimming down the core. I don't know. But she after the win, when after Asuka attacks Io Sky, took her down with a kick and then cleared the announcer's table. Kairi Sane then came out with the kendo stick, kind of saving Asuka from the riptide on the table, and then Asuka gave Rhea a DDT on the table to end the whole thing. Yeah, I thought it was pretty good. Could have done without the shenanigans. Because of the shenanigans, I'm going to give it a B-.
All right.
Saw a backstage interview with LA Knight where he was then interrupted by CM Punk. We then went to a singles matchup between Big Bronson Reed and Jimmy Uso. I lead off, so I'm going to go into it. We saw a little segment backstage with Jim talking to Jay, where Jay said the reason why he didn't win the last match because he was too distracted about worrying about Roman, and kind of alluded that, Jimmy was on his own for this one. Bronson Reed took control of the match as soon as the bell rang. Jimmy did kind of recover. Sent him out of the ring and then, rammed him into the ring post. But, this is, Jimmy kind of, rallying late, but it wasn't much. I mean, the match itself, only 7 minutes and 38 seconds, so it wasn't like match. Bronson got the victory with the Tsunami, and I don't know if you'll agree or if you'll disagree, but the best part of Bronson Reed doing the Tsunami is when Wade Barrett's there to go Tsunami, because he does it in one.
Yeah.
It really looks, honestly, like Bronson Reed, is like a blip. It looks like floating in the air before it comes crashing down. So, we then had Ron Breaker showing up and spearing Jimmy twice after the match, and that's when Jay ran down the ring to make the save for his brother. But overall, it was a simple match. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't anything special either. I gave it a C.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I mean, my grade was a little different, but yeah, I mean, they put the Usos in the tag team match last week, I believe it was, and now it looks like they got them arguing back and forth with each other, and along with Roman, Roman says he doesn't want to see him now till Christmas. Well, at least we know they're going to spend Christmas together, which is a good thing. But yeah, I just thought that this was an okay match. Bronson Reed, Jimmy Uso, we knew. I figured. Well, I really can't say I knew who was going to win because Bronson Reed's been pinned by Jimmy and Jay Uso before. So yeah. And so yeah, but I just thought it was an okay match. Could have been better. I thought it went a little bit longer than the 7 minutes it normally went, or it went this time. But I gave it a C+.
Okay. After that, we then went to a tag team matchup where it was Bayley and Lyra Valkyria taking Sam Perez and Raquel Rodriguez. Trent, you're up first.
All right, thank you. Yeah, this was to me, I don't know, maybe it was me, but it just seemed like a weird match. I mean, Bayley and Lyra were teaming up, and then I guess as things were getting rough in the ring for Bayley, Lyra was kind of yelling at her and then smacked her in the face and everything else. And I mean, Raquel Rodriguez is looking really good in the ring. Well, what's her name too there? Roxanne Perez. That goes without saying. She looks good anyway. But yeah, I just thought that it was an okay match. I really don't know what they're going to do with Lyra and Bayley if they're going to end up having. I know we talked before the show about it's going to be probably one of these things where you never know what you're going to get out of Bayley from week to week. 1 week she'll be hugging and high-fiving everybody, and then the next week she'll be pushing you away. So it'll be interesting to see what they're going to do. But, yeah, I thought the match could have been a little bit better than what it was. I gave it a C+.
Okay. Yeah, I enjoyed this match. I know before the match started, we saw Lyra talking to Bayley about she wasn't sure who was going to be, wrestling with her. It was just she said it was a one-time thing because she can't depend on Bayley to be consistent. And, yeah, I mean, Lyra found herself being double-teamed early on, and Bayley tagged in and helped turn the tide. And then, the baby faces controlled more often than the heels in this match, which is kind of weird because a lot of times you'll see the heels control most of the match. That way, when the baby faces kind of take control, you get the louder pop. So I found that to be a little weird. And then just as, like you said, and Raquel started to get some momentum. Roxanne hit Bayley with the Hurricane Rana from the top rope. And I was damn, like this girl is so young, but she's just so good and fluid in the ring. And that's when the slap came. And funny point is during the match, Michael Cole said Bailey had been sending him texts that were both nice and insulting. It changed depending on the day, which is just getting into this.
Yep.
Bailey's little downgrade. I can really say when Raquel Rodriguez hit the ring post, it looked way too plain. But like I said, I enjoyed this match just a little bit more than you. I actually gave it a B minus.
Alrighty.
And we then had a quick little segment. Did you grade it? About Stephanie McCare coming out or no?
No.
All right. The quick segment, Stephanie McCare came out, and we then had the Judgment Days, Raquel and Roxanne Perez coming out, kind of alluding to possibly a Stephanie McCare Roxanne Perez feud. I mean, those two women, they've been in the most matches of any two women in WWE. They've been working their tail off, so why not get them a feud together? We then went to a triple threat match. Versus LA Knight versus CM Punk to determine the number one contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. I thought. What's that, my drink? The crowd cheering for all three men. It's so weird to me. There's always got to be some form of good versus evil, but there just wasn't. CM Punk had more of the crowd behind him than the other opponents. But it was your basic triple threat match. That was really one-on-one. There was really no time the two people were beating down on one. It always seemed like the action somebody was out, which was, I guess, okay.
Yep.
I know at one point it looked like LA Knight was going to win. He hit Punk with a BMT, but Jay pulled him out of the ring. When Jay tried to hit a splash, Punk got his knees up to counter and then hit the GTS for the win. Because Jay threw LA Knight into the switch. If you would ask me before this match who I thought was going to win, I would say, well, Jay won't win because he's still trying to get back up. And I don't think CM Punk's going to win because we've seen Seth and CM Punk too many times.
Right.
So it wasn't surprising me that CM Punk won. Now, my question is, did you agree what happened after separately or all together?
All together.
So we then had Seth Rollins' music hit, and he came out with the Vision. Braun Breaker took out Jey Uso with a spear from about 20 feet away. He then came around, speared LA Knight, and then we had Breaker and Rollins surrounding the ring. After they took Punk out, meaning Braun Breaker, and Bronson Reed, this is why we decided to do a recap show tonight. Braun Breaker shocked everyone by taking out Seth Rollins with a spear. The look on Paul Heyman's face was like totally utter shocking. And he was even more surprised when Braun Breaker got the Bronson Reed's face and kind of said, either you're with me or you're not. And we had Bronson Reed give Nani to Seth Rollins. And he then, once again, got into Paul Heyman's face and said, hey, you're with me or you're not. And the show ended with all three standing with arms raised over Seth Rollins. The match itself was a B, but then when you throw this shit in there, I was like, holy crap. If I graded it separately, I would have given that part an A plus. So you put A plus to the B, you gotta go A minus.
Absolutely. Yeah, the thing is I was surprised that CM Punk won as well, because like you said before, we've seen enough of CM Punk and Seth Rollins. We've seen CM Punk and LA Knight, but not nearly as much as we have with him and CM Punk. But yeah, I mean, when I saw that spear and Paul Heyman had the look on his face like, holy shit. The question I wanted to ask you, Greg, was by them doing this so early, with them being, I mean, they just formed a faction, a couple months ago?
6 months.
Yeah, but that's not a long time, really. But does that mean that WWE is ready to put a title on Braun Breaker?
Maybe.
I mean, that was a big surprise. I mean, just by looking at the look on Paul Heyman's face, and then he grabbed both of them by the wrist and held their arms up, I said, yeah, that was a setup.
I don't think it was a setup. I think he was doing that, and that's not necessarily because he was with them, but once the alternative, he gets tsunami. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm raising hands.
Right.
Whether I'm cool with them or not.
Yeah. No, I'm not doing a battle right now. We're doing our podcast here. You can send those to the podcast if you want. I'll still get them. But yeah, the match overall, everything, what happened at the end, everything else was just a great way to end the show. I gave it an A. Overall, I didn't think it was that bad of a show. And even if it was a bad show, the ending of it lifted it up by leaps and bounds. But I just want to see where they're going to go with this now, and see where WWE is going to take it. I gave it a B plus.
Yeah, I mean, it would have been a B or B minus overall. It ended. I mean, it caused me to message you when you recap today.
Yep.
So, I can give it a B plus.
All righty. And that was our Monday Night Raw recap. We hope you all enjoyed it. Right now, we're going to have another segment in the show. One of my favorites, the best segment of the show. It is Nuggies News. So, Greg, what do you got for us? Hi, Kelly.
All right. Well, let's get a little bit onto the injury front. It was reported that Seth Rollins was seen in a sling for his left shoulder after the match with Cody Rhodes. So there are some out there that says, you know what, it's probably nothing major, just something where he needs a few weeks off. So this kind of brought this on earlier, the attack by Breaker and Reed, earlier than planned, because they needed a way to write Seth Rollins off of TV for a little bit. Now, we know CM Punk is in line to challenge for Seth Rollins' title. When that's going to happen, we'll just have to see. Other news that as of right now, Chuck Miller is currently recovering from a severe finger injury that actually happened in WrestleMania 41. It described the injury as complex, stating that she broke her finger in 3 places, including the joint in her knuckle, which is really complicating the process. She has indicated that while her finger is healing, it still does not bend properly, which poses a challenge for her to return to wrestling. So, we we're just here waiting for her to come back. So hopefully that day is sooner rather than later.
Yep.
Other injury news. At an NXT live event this past week, JC Jane suffered a leg injury during a live event in Columbus, Ohio. The injury occurred during a tag team match where she was teaming with Val Emily against Soruka and Zarya. The referee signaled a legitimate injury and medical personnel helped her to the back. It is, the severity of the injury is currently unknown. It remains to be seen if she will have to vacate her title. But they have had, or is going to have, a 20-woman multi promotional battle royal on NXT. That will be happening this Tuesday, and the winner of that is in line to have it. We'll just have to see what goes on for that.
Yep. I just hope the leg injury is not that serious.
Yeah, I know. If you don't know by now, then you don't really pay much attention to wrestling. But several weeks ago, Raja Jackson, the son of MMA legend Quentin Rampage Jackson, unknowingly or not unknowingly, pulled somebody into unconsciousness. An event for Knox Pro Wrestling. He was slamming Stuart Smith, a wrestler known as Psycho Stu, to the mat or punching him multiple times, putting him in the hospital. Well, he's formally been charged with multiple criminal charges stemming from his involvement in that thing. He still maintains his innocence. I don't know how you can maintain your innocence. I mean, that was just, more glue than really needed to happen.
Right.
TNA had their Bound for Glory premium live event last night. That's kind of their WrestleMania. And some of the results were an inspiration. We just saw the TNA showdown with NXT. They defended their TNA Knockouts World Tag Team Championships. You don't care. Tessa Blanchard defeated Gia Miller. They did have a 22-person intergender call your shot gauntlet, where two people start and then they just keep bringing in little by little, one by one. Some familiar names that people may remember. Seth Alexander was in this. Rick and Ryan Nemeth, Nick Nemeth being Dolph Ziggler. AJ Francis, formerly known as Spot Dollar, was in there. But there were also some women. Rosemary was in there. But earlier in the night, Frankie Kazarian had lost his Intercontinental Championship to Stevie Macklin. Well, during this, a young lady by the name of Jody Fred was coming in, and Frankie Kazarian attacked her, taking her place. Well, Frankie Kazarian and Nick Nemeth both won as both, eliminated each other, kind of an old school Royal Rumble where both guys' feet hit the floor at the same time. Their contract, for the 1 year they could invoke at any time, so it's still playing today.
Yep.
Bonnie defeated Indy Harbaugh for the TNA Knockouts Championship to remain champion. Giovanni Evans fell short. It was a singles match against Leon Slater, and it ended in a no contest. I don't know what happened that a match would end in no contest. It went 23 minutes long. So, I mean, you can't say if it was 30 minutes, I could see, okay, maybe it was due to a time limit, or 20 minutes, or 25. With it being a 23-minute long match, I don't know what happened.
Now, he's the X Division champion, right?
Yes, TNA X Division champion.
All right.
Mike Santana did it. He took the TNA title off of Trick Williams to become the TNA World Champion. But it was probably the most emotional moment in TNA in years. The Hardys, Matt and Jeff, defeated Team 3D, Bully Ray, and Devon in last tables match. After the match was over, both Devon and Bully Ray took their boots off, handed them to the Hardys. Bully Ray openly wept. You can see his eyes well up and the tears come down as they all embraced in a hug, signifying the last time the Dudley Boys will ever be in the ring. Hats off to them. And you know, yeah.
And what a team to retire against.
Yeah, the Hardys remain the TNA World Tag Team Champions and the NXT Tag Team Champions.
All righty.
And that's what I've got for Nuggets News today.
All right, Greg, we have a comment here from Joe Chester. The little Nugster says, I saw something on Instagram saying that Rollins is replacing Gunther to be seen as final opponent on Saturday night's main event. What do you think?
I don't know. You froze on TikTok, by the way.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh. Huh. Must
You're not on TikTok at all.
Oh.
See?
Wow. That's odd. I'm moving crazy on here on my thing. Yeah. So, and also another announcement I have to make is just received word yesterday that Wrestling with Character, the show that will be appearing November 16th at Wilcox Tech School in Meriden, Connecticut, Bret the Hitman Hart, due to circumstances beyond his control, will not be able to appear. And they said he will be replaced by a WWE Hall of Famer. So I don't know who that is. As soon as I get the information, I will let you people know who the replacement is. But I kind of figured Bret wasn't going to show up.
Well, you did not. You did not think that.
But
I told you from day one, okay, I'll believe it when I see it.
yeah, that's true. That you did.
I'm not saying that at some point you did not have a deal for Bret the Hitman Hart to come. But once maybe Bret was like, wait a minute, they're in fucking Connecticut? Fuck that.
Right.
Oh, you can go to a little high school with 173 people? Not worth my time.
Right.
That's the way I look.
Yep. Plus, I also heard through the grapevine that his combo package for signature autographs and everything, his combo package was going to be $150.
Well, it's Bret Hart.
Yeah. So.
And then realize you're going to Meriden, how many people are going to go to Meriden to pay $150 for an autograph from Bret Hart?
Right. First of all, there aren't that many people in Meriden that have $150. So, but yeah, I mean,
All the people in there that have $150 wouldn't go to a WWE wrestler.
right. But yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward to seeing what Seth Rollins has to say about this attack.
I don't think we're going to see Seth Rollins for a couple of weeks. I really don't.
Right.
I think that's why he got beaten up. But my whole thing is now is right. I mean, for months now, everybody thought that Survivor Series War Games was going to be Roman Reigns and some Usos and whatever against Seth Rollins in the division and whatever. Well, what is that? How is that? What happens now?
Right.
Seth Rollins against CM Punk one-on-one at Survivor Series, and then what's it going to be? A Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns? I don't know. It just really starts to make you kind of excited about Survivor Series and the build to it, because now I have no idea.
Throws a monkey wrench into a lot of things.
What could they possibly put together for a women's War Games match?
Right. Exactly. So, all right. Well, when Greg messaged me earlier about doing a show about a recap on Monday Night Raw tonight because of what happened last night, I'm definitely all for it. But Wednesday we will be back doing an NXT recap. We'll be talking about NXT's Halloween Havoc coming up on the 25th, I believe it is.
Yeah, right now they have one match.
All right.
And that's JCJ versus the winner of the Battle Royal, which they taped NXT last week. So they already know who the winner is, but I'm not going to spoil it for people.
Okay.
All I will say is you'll be happy.
Oh, okay. So that kind of gives me an idea of who won, but I'll wait and see. So, but yeah, I mean, congratulations to Mike Santana. I told a couple people that I know about that know wrestling like we do. I said, I think Mike Santana was going to beat Trick Williams anyway, because they wanted to get the title back to a TNA star instead of keeping it in WWE. And Mike Santana was probably the best one for the job, except Joe Hendry. Oh, wait a minute. Okay. All right, he's not here. So
I got to ask you a question.
All right, go ahead.
Do I get bonus points because the World Heavyweight #1 contender triple threat match between CM Punk, Jey Uso, and LA Knight went 13 minutes and 13 seconds?
It did last night?
No, it actually went 13:30.
Oh, man. That would have been something if it went 13-13. So, all right, Greg, anything else you want to add?
I was looking here at an NXT live event.
Okay.
In Ohio from the Agora Theater and Ballroom. A pretty interesting card. Tommaso Ciampa defeated Diamantix. Los Americanos, Bravo Americano and Rayo Americano defeated Chase U. Ricky Saints defeated Josh Briggs. Ethan Page defeated Johnny Gargano, but Oba Fett and Omos wrestled to a no contest.
Oh.
That's a lot of meat, right?
Yeah, no shit.
I mean, Oba Femi and
Oh,
Omos.
yeah. So,
Interestingly enough, yes, SmackDown is from San Jose, California, but they have a WWE Super Show Australia, which is coming from Rod Laver Arena, which is the main tennis court that they play the Australian Open in. That's on Wednesday, and then Friday and Saturday, they have WWE Super Show Japan in Tokyo, Japan. Weird that they're sending some home to go to San Jose for SmackDown, but typically Super Shows are both SmackDown and Raw.
right.
That's what Super Shows. But but they're doing those on Friday and Saturday.
Huh.
But yeah, they're getting their traveling.
They're getting their frequent flyer miles, that's for sure. So, but and also one other thing to add before we close up tonight, Greg, what do you really think? I mean, I'm hope not. I don't think it's going to happen, but it's part of wrestling, so I'm definitely going to bring it up. The match next week for the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Do you really think they're going to give the title to Maxine?
No.
I don't either.
No.
I think they'll probably make her look good, but she won't win it.
But do you think Rusev will be Dominic?
Not next week, but eventually will.
And do you think AJ Styles and Dragon Lee are going to defeat the Judgment Day?
You know, I see that possibly happening next week. I do see that happening. Because if AJ Styles isn't getting a hold of Dominic right now for the IC title, what better way to stick it to the Judgment Day than to take the tag titles off him?
And then they blame Dominic because he put them in that circumstance.
Yep.
And it's about fucking time.
Yeah.
The Judgment Day have to defend their titles.
Yep.
Them since August or to like June.
Wow.
July, shit like that.
Well, that's like when Dominic said last night, "Oh, I'm the only one that defends the title." Yeah, AJ Styles said, "Yeah, you're right." So, all right. So I want to thank everybody for tuning in on TikTok. Greg, great show. Good idea for doing this tonight.
Thank you.
And on behalf of the Noakes of Greg, this is the illustrious Mr. Trivia for Top Rope Report, saying thank you all for tuning in and have a good evening.